Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Paranormal Karen, funny too. Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Oh, and did I mention she's funny too? Yeah, cha-cha-cha.
Hey everybody, welcome to Paranormal Karen. You're going to be so excited today because I know that when I do my other podcast, which is called Karen and Kira Can Read, where me and Kira Satanovich do readings for comics, I always do the numerology for the personal year that the person is in. And I do that in my tarot readings. And people always say, wait, how did you do that? How did you do that? Well, today I'm with the guy that knows all about it. I'm so excited. Brian Kukan is going to teach. By the way, best name, Brian. Kukan. You don't have a thing about your name, Kukan.
Oh, really? Well, first of all, hi, Karen.
Hi.
It's good to see you and be with you today on the show.
And before we start, give everybody a little, you're a Reiki master.
Yes.
Teacher, you teach.
I am a former high school math teacher that left the classroom to pursue the healing arts. So Reiki master, teaching classes, working in the cancer community, offering Reiki there, also doing hypnosis, and of course, numerology.
Yeah,
because I can't stay away from the numbers.
I was going to say that. Math brain, it must have been perfect. And before we start, give everybody your website where they can find, they can get remote Reiki.
Right, yes.
And do you do numerology readings or anything else like that?
I do. You know, some people don't know me too much for the numerology thing, but I do teach workshops here and there, just to give people the basics. It really helps. So you can go to lareikiguy.com, and all of my services are listed up there. My calendar of events. I host public Reiki circles and Reiki practitioner nights, and teach a myriad of different workshops and everything.
You might see me at a couple of those because I haven't seen you in a while, but I love going to them.
I remember a mutual friend of ours, Jen Durant, invited me over to your house before, and that's how we met, and we did a whole Reiki meditation group, and that was lovely.
Yeah, so that's LA, and it's RIEKI, right?
REIKI.
Okay, I'm always dyslexic, and I'm actually Reiki master, and I spelled it wrong. So it's LAREIKIGUY.com. Okay,
correct. That's
and it'll be in the notes.
Okay, perfect.
So tell me tell us the people what numerology is, what they can expect from it.
Okay, so numerology is, we could say, similar to astrology, learning your personality, your life path, your destiny, how you see yourself, how other people view you, all just by using your birthday and your birth name. And you can go through, if you change your name throughout your lifetime, it changes the energy that you have. So it's a great way and a little bit easier than astrology to learn and pick up and put into place, which is what put me in the numerology space, because I love all of this stuff, and I was just getting into the metaphysical world and all of these different esoteric arts, and I heard numerology. I was like, wait, what? Being a high school math teacher and now diving into all this spiritual and psychic stuff, and I'm like, I have to check this out.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's 9 single-digit numbers and a couple different master numbers, and as long as you know those, and you can add, you can do it. And it's great. You learn the basics, and then you go off and practice. You learn yourself, and then you just practice on friends and family. And wow, it can really make sense of your families. You're like, oh, that's why she does that. That's why he does. I got it.
Wow. And there's so much, and that's where it gets like, and I understand because astrology, people don't understand. I have a guy that comes on and teaches us 2 things a month about astrology.
Yeah, and that'll take you like an infinite amount of years, because 2 things a month, there's so much.
But so with numerology too, and I remember the one I want, because I think I texted you like 4 times because I can't remember anything. What were you telling me about the color of the day, Brian? So we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
So everybody takes, let's kind of start, where would you like to start? Should we start at what the numbers mean, or should everybody pull out their pen if they're not driving?
You know what? Let me tell you the story of the evolution of the numbers.
Okay.
So we're going to start. Most numerology is down to single-digit numbers. So we have 1 through 9. And if we just start with this little story of the evolution of personalities, then you'll have an idea of the 9 different personalities with those numbers. So if you start with 1, just having 1, well, 1 being the initiator, it's the start of the numbers. So 1 is the leader.
I think I'm a 1.
Oh, well, there you go.
I know,
of course.
bossy.
You're starting. They can be.
Yes.
Because 1s are the natural leaders. So if they're not in that leadership role, they're going to tell the person in charge what to do because they need to be in that leadership role.
That's so me.
Okay. The other aspect of the 1 is very individualistic. It's all about me. It's all about the 1. But if you stay in that 1 role in terms of universal consciousness, well, then it gets a little boring. So then you create the 2. So 1 evolves to the 2. The 2 then has this relationship. Now 1 is not standing on its own. There's another counterpart. So the number 2 deals with relationships and deals with the balance. Okay, where the 1 is very comfortable standing on its own, the 2 is uncomfortable on its own. So 2s tend to be a little codependent at times because they need someone else to work with. But they're great in terms of collaboration and cooperation because they like that partnership role. Mostly on the one-on-one basis on those types of relationships.
I have to stop you. I have to sit because I'm sitting here like an idiot. And I know this is what I tell people, but literally I go, wow, this is the tarot. And it's like, yeah, you know that every day, Karen. But it seemed like when you said that, it occurred to me. And I was like, what? Okay, yeah. So we got the 2.
Okay, so then you 2. And if you have relationships, well, a relationship can get a little stagnant over time, so you need to spice it up. You need to make sure for that relationship to be successful, you need to communicate. You need to get creative, and that's where the 3 comes in. 3 is the creative energy. 3 is the energy of communication, self-expression. So the artists, the musicians, the actors, all of that kind of comes from that 3 energy.
And 3s are interesting because I know I always think of the things that we say in 3, like Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or things like that. And also, you want to, in comedy, you want to do your joke and then tag it twice. So you literally have to get 3 punchlines. It goes in the rules of 3s.
Yeah, and just in having something complete, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then it puts it all together.
God, you have this explained well. Okay.
So then we go from the 3, but if we're too creative, too out there, that energy can be a little bit scattered. So then we evolve into the 4. Now the 4 creates that perfect square, those 4 right angles. It's very practical. There's no extra fluff. It loves routine. It loves very consistent structures and strategies. 4s are great office managers because they got everything down. This is how it goes. But they can get a little rigid because they're stuck in the routine. My mom's a 4, so it's like, she's going to do her grocery shopping this day. She's going to do the laundry this day at this time. And if you throw her off, she's an unhappy camper.
The table's not balanced. Okay.
So that's the 4 energy. But 4s are great in terms of structure. Then, if you stick in that for too long, you get a little boxed in. So then you evolve to the 5. The 5 is about freedom. It wants to let go of those limitations. It wants to be free. It wants to be spontaneous. It wants to change, meet new people, try new foods, visit new places. So it has that nature to it. Also, there's an energy of learning with the 5. So the 5 wants to learn very fast. It's a very fiery energy. Learns fast, passionate about one thing, but then the next day it's all about something else because it just needs to go, 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 go. But too long of that energy can be a little chaotic. So then the 5 evolves into the 6. Now the 6, that very hexagon shape, that little hex figure, very, very calm structure, very solid. And the 6 energy is the caregiver. So it calms down from the 5, and the 6 wants to take care of everybody. It's the nurturer. It wants to promote peace and harmony, and the home is very important for the energy of the 6. The 6 on the negative side could go into the martyr role and give up their own personal health and happiness for the good of others, which would be a little bit too far. So they need to find that balance. But the 6 is that nurturer and caregiver and teachers. I'm a 6 as well, so I kind of know that energy well. But then, also with the 6, where the 2 has that relationship going with the one-on-ones, the 6 more of the group. So if the 6 is in a group and there's a couple people that are not happy in that group, they need to step in and help kind of smooth that out so that the group is harmonious again. So then, well, where do you go after that? Evolving into the 7. The 7 is the energy that's going to ask, who am I? What am I doing? What is life's purpose? What's going on? The 7 is the analyzer. It's the researcher. It's the one that's asking the depth of the question. Their favorite question is why. Then the person, well, why are we doing that? Why? They want to know. They're not happy on the surface. They've got to dip down. So they're either going to be into the spiritual or religious realm or the science realm because they're just stuck in the laboratory of their mind trying to figure it out. But the downside of it is they tend to retreat at times because they're just stuck trying to figure it out. So they have to then evolve and step out to share the knowledge what they find. Now, after answering all of the depths of the questions, we evolve into the 8. The 8 is the person that's going to take it to market and sell all of the answers. They've figured it out over the 7 prior numbers. The 7 is the business leader. The 7 is the capitalist. The 7 is the
8?
entrepreneur. I mean 8.
Yes.
Sorry, 8. So the 8 is that entrepreneurial spirit. They're leaders in a sort, but the 1s are the natural leaders. The 8s are the leaders in terms of a business strategy. Some people will see 8s and think that they are very driven and determined. So once they have their mind set on a goal, they will work, they will give up food, they will give up sleep to make sure that they are successful, whatever their definition of success is. The downside of that is that they can burn out a little bit because they put their needs aside because they're just wanting to reach that goal. So they have to find the balance to make sure that if they're achieving this wealth and this success in their journeys, use a little bit of that money that they make to take care of themselves. Get some massages, have some spa days, like nurture yourself so that you have the energy to keep going for it. But where do we go after the 8? We evolve into the 9, and the 9 says, whatever, it's not about me anymore. I've had my journey. Let's make sure that humanity benefits from all of this. So the 9 energy really is the opposite of the 1. We're coming out full circle. It doesn't care about themselves. It wants whatever they do to benefit humanity. So sometimes they don't get a lot of attention, or sometimes they shy away from attention because they don't want it, because it's not about them. It's about the world.
And now, do the 2 master numbers, which are 11 and 22, do they fit into personality types also?
They do.
Okay.
They do. So the 11 would collapse down to the 2. So the 2 energy is still involved in the 11.
Got it.
But raising to that the next level with the 2 1s, the 11 energy is very intuitive. So that's where the psychic energy comes in, and the really tuned in people that probably don't even have to put that much effort into it. Their gut instincts are right on.
Now, when you do personal year, do you add in the 11 and the 22?
Yes.
Okay.
So that could add a different energy to the year. It could be, you could just go with the 2 energy. But if it is an 11 year, you can strive and go into some deeper manifestations and access different energy.
Interesting. Okay, and 22.
And the 22, similar to that 9 energy, the 22 is the problem solver. They're the master builder. They want to build a structure or a strategy or a corporation or a nonprofit that will outlast them and will continue to benefit humanity.
I don't know why this is blowing my mind, but maybe it's like the simple way you're describing it, because literally the 1 is the magician, which is the 1. The 2 is the high priestess, who is sort of the partner to the magician. The 3 is the empress, who is entertainment and magic.
Yes.
The 4 is the emperor, who is construction and square and a T-square in his hand.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, the 5 is the Hierophant, who is, I always think of 5s as chaos, but you're like,
Yes.
kind of all over.
Yeah.
6 is the Lovers, which is...
yeah, that makes sense.
And the card of interior design. Isn't that funny?
Perfect.
And 7 is the Chariot, who is, he has sort of mastered his spirituality, but he's not out there. And 8 is the Strength card, which is a sign of the equilibrium, kind of getting going, but I always think business. And then 9 is the Hermit, which is about, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm on my way. And he's almost, I always say the hermit is raised because he has so much wisdom now. Not everybody reaches that level. That's why he's alone.
Right.
Interesting. 11 is justice, I think. No, 11 is justice.
Okay.
Which would again be balance, kind of the 4. And then 22 would be the world card.
Yeah.
Wrapping it all up. Wow.
Going for the world.
All right, so now everyone heard that.
Okay.
So now they get to figure out what number they are. Everybody take a guess.
Yeah.
Fierce, Funny, and Female has won over 10 book awards, and probably while I'm telling you this, it's winning 10 more. As one of the first women to work as a laborer in the Texas oil field, Marty McGibbon set off explosives and staked oil wells before realizing her childhood dream of becoming a successful stand-up comic. Marty introduces readers to a wide range of characters in her life, from sleazy authority figures and crazy Corn Belt cult leaders, to Texas oil billionaires, to wild-eyed redneck co-workers who robbed banks on their lunch hour. This is the second in Marty's series, and it is one of the most exciting stories. It's the story of a young woman's triumph over adversity and trauma, told with grace, wit, and laugh-out-loud humor. Look for Fierce, Funny, and Female on Amazon.com, author Marty McGibbon.
Okay, yeah, it's good to find out. Like, I think I'm this, and then you're like, wait a second, and we can get into that if we have time there. So the main influencer comes from your birthday. Okay. So you take the month you were born, whatever number that is, or if it's a 2-digit number, you can add those digits together. Then you combine it with the day you were born. If it's a single digit, great. If it's a double digit, add those numbers together, along with the 4-digit birth year.
You want to do mine?
Absolutely. We'll give a good example.
So mine is 8/17/1965.
Okay. So we're looking at all single-digit numbers. So I wrote the numbers down. So we have 8171965. 8/17/1965. But we want to treat them all as single-digit numbers. So we just add all of these single-digit numbers together. And I'm going to break out a calculator. I know I was a math teacher, but I always want to check my work. I don't want to make any mistakes. So let me add these together really quickly.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure if I think I'm a 1. I know I did it once.
Yes.
I'm a 1.
You
okay.
are.
So I'm the boss.
So just to give everyone the full details. So when we add those together, we get a 37. And if you get a 2-digit number, most people will, you add those single digits back together.
So you had 3 and 7.
So 3 plus 7 would give a 10, and the 1 plus the 0 will give the 1. So Karen, you are a 1. You are destined. Your life path is called the life path number. You are to be the leader. You are very individualistic. You can stand out on your own, and you just are the initiator. You get it going.
Where we're going.
That's it.
Okay, so that's how everybody gets their life number.
Exactly.
Now, I love to use personal year.
Yes, that's also a really good one, just to know the cycles and to give yourself a focus on the year. There's so many things we can do and so many resolutions we can have and all of that. But if you follow the flow of nature, your nature based on when you were born and your cycles, having this 9-year cycle to go through, it really matches up. And just in teaching people, and then they find out their number, they go, oh, that makes sense that all of this was happening this year. And so it's good to know
I'm
your
in
flow.
a 9, and I call it the big flush.
I call it the garage sale year.
Oh, yeah, I like that better. Because and it's like already, and you know, this is where things help people, because I have already seen a few things sort of disappear, you know, and I feel like, oh, well, that's the 9. They don't serve me anymore, so they're going on their way. And I get to move up a level, and I get to go to the 1.
Yeah.
And do you do like the year, like 2019 is a 3, right?
Correct.
Okay, so 2019 is going to be, would it be the challenge will be communication and creativity?
Well, on the universal level, we're going to look at the emphasis being on creation and communication. So we're going to look probably at a lot of discussions, probably on the political level or governmental level, you know. Let's hope people are talking together. But yeah, we might see a rise in creative energy in people too, like thinking outside of the box and just coming up with things, or just shows coming about that just people are ready to express themselves. It's really about self-expression. And
you know, that would be interesting to see. Would 3s be, if you look back and you kind of look at this generation now that creates apps and you know, they're creating their own thing. I wonder if we look back if their year was a 3, or if they, you know what I mean, or they were all 3s.
Yeah, true. Look at some of the heads of companies or app developers and see what got them into it and got them going.
And before we get to the fun stuff, I love how you explained that. I really love how you explained that. I remember one woman sent me an email. She was really mad because I didn't say 8. She kept saying 8s were new beginnings, and I was like, well, I never heard it like that, but it could be. But no, I don't.
I don't see it as a new beginning. I see it's almost like a new level. Because you're growing from that 1 to 6, and then 6 is harmonious, and then that 7 is that deep reflection. So then you come back from that 7, and then you just step up to the next level in that 8, and you go out and you spread it and you drive. You know.
I loved my 8 because I was like, when I found out the 8 was coming, like business wise, because I love my career more than anything, and I was just like, go, you know, audition, ask, do it this year. Not that I shouldn't do that any year, but I felt like the luck was behind me in the 8. So now before we get to if the personal number or the fun things that people can do with this, the colors and stuff.
Colors and crystals. And
when numerology doesn't really, people are always saying, I see 1111 everywhere, or...
well, when you get to four-digit numbers in patterns like that, then I always defer to Doreen Virtue's angel numbers. So if I see the clock and it's 111, or if I see on my car and it's 22.2, or any string of numbers like that, then I'll default to Doreen Virtue's description of the angel numbers. And they sort of go along the lines of the descriptions of the numbers I said too. So if you see 3 1s, it's a good sign that you got to focus on yourself, or it's time to start something, get something going. You know, 222 would be the focus on relationships.
333.
333. Now 333 and 444. I forget which is which, but one of them is just a sign that your archangels are watching out for you, that they have your back. And then the other one, and like I said, you'll have to look this up, the other one is that the Ascended Masters are around.
Oh, even better.
And they have your back too. So it's like, you know, those are really good.
I got as a 1. I was like, I don't know if I want my angels or my Ascended Masters, one of the 2.
I'll take the better one at the time.
Yes, whoever's in charge.
Whoever's feeling good.
And I'll tell them how to do it.
Of course.
You know, that's funny because everybody talks about 3:30 a.m., 3:33 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And it got this reputation of the haunted hour because supposedly Christ was during the day. He was crucified at 3:33 in the day, and it kind of gets like, that's the haunting hour. But I always thought, the more research I did, because that didn't quite resonate, that would be, it's the hour they feel that the veil is the thinnest, so it's not just negative, it's positive. So I always wake up at 3:33 a.m. And I thought, somebody said, I know we're off topic, but everyone knows, these people know I prattle on about anything. I always thought, that means I'm supposed to, I heard this somewhere, you're supposed to pay attention. What was I just dreaming about? I was getting the message, but I don't usually get it, but I try.
Yeah.
So now tell everybody the more fun things they can do.
Okay, so with that life path number, that's going to be with you for your entire lifetime, so make sure you pay attention to that. The more you live into that number, the easier life will get. Now, to go deeper, we want to look at your personal year number. So that's going to be the start. So you want to take your month and your day for your birthday and swap out your birth year with the current year.
Okay, yeah, this is the personal. This is the one that helps me in tarot.
Yeah, so we're going to break it down. We're going to find the personal year, the personal month, and then the personal day. And then from there, I'll tell you what you can do from day to day, month to month, year to year. So we'll take yours again, August 17th here with the 2019, which is already adding up to be a 3.
And it would be my last birthday, right? So it'd be 2018.
There's 2 schools of thought here, so I'm glad you brought that up. And some people are very purists in their approach. So one approach is to go from January 1st to December 31st, and that's the energy of that calendar year. However, we're born not on January 1st. We're born on our own path. So the other side of the pendulum is you go from birthday to birthday to birthday. Now, neither of them make 100% sense to me. Because we are born at a certain time, but we are also influenced by the calendar. So right as soon as we entered 2019, we're already being pulled into that energy.
I have to tell you 2 funny stories. So I was doing someone's personal year on our when I was reading their tarot, and I kept saying, "I can't believe you're in a 8 because this looks so much like a 9." And then somebody actually wrote in, "You had it wrong. They were in a 9." And but it was funny that in my I was like, this doesn't look right. That's interesting because sometimes I feel like the years do bleed over.
Yes, it's a big blend. I treat it as a blend. So me personally, this birthday coming up towards the end of this year will be a 5, but I'm coming out of a 4. My birthday's in October, so I just started the 4, but I'm starting to blend into the 5. So I have this 4-5 blend. So depending on where your birthday is in the year, you might have a long blend. If your birthday is December or 31st, like it's just a constant blend. But if you're towards the beginning of the year, most of the year will be that pure energy of the new number.
Got it.
But it's that I do the blending approach. It tends to make sense.
We'll do it your way.
So we'll look at where you're coming from and
how
where
hard as
you're
a
going.
1 it was for me to say that to you.
Like, okay, you take.
What are you?
It's yours.
Let me guess. Are you a 6?
I am a 6. Because I said it earlier in the show.
Sorry.
But that's okay. That's okay. I am a Libra, so I've definitely got to have that balance. All right, so we're looking at a 1 year. So yeah, you said you're in that 9 year. You're coming out of that 9. So right now you're the blend 9 and 1. Until your birthday in August, then you're going to be straight up 1 energy for the rest of the year. And then it'll start to blend into the 2. And of course, because gosh, those new beginnings, those 1s are just great because of the dropping off of the sandbags of that hot balloon as you're going up on that 9 year. You're just getting rid of all of that extra. So it's just clearing the way for that new, fresh start.
I love that one.
You're blending with the endings and beginnings right now.
Great. So when everybody takes that and they do their personal year, they can look back at what we said and see where they're at.
And they can see where they are right now in the year. We're still at the beginning of the year. So if their birthday is not until later, look back at the previous year. So if your birthday is in July and you did the calculations like I said and you got a 4, well, you're in a 3 right now. So you're blending 3, moving into that 4, and then as soon as it hits that birthday, then you're clear 4.
Boy, leave it to a 6 to make it work for everyone.
You gotta pull it together. I need everybody to be happy. Otherwise, we don't have peace and harmony. Jeez.
I would bet all my friends, I have 2, your friends kind of shift, but I have 2 that's sort of stable in my life, and they're both Libras, and I say because they're the only ones that can stand a Leo, but I bet they're both 6s. I mean, they...
Oh, possibly.
I bet they are, because they are that balance, they are that, let's bring everybody together. together.
Yes,
kind of nice
so
people.
the Libras are definitely about relationships and making sure it all works and comes together.
Yeah.
And so 1 year. So we're going to use that year, that personal year number, to then calculate the personal months and the personal days from there. So the good thing about this is once you calculate your personal year once, you never really have to calculate it again because it goes in the sequence. 1 all the way up to 9, start back over with the 1, and you keep going. The only time you would have to calculate it again would be to check on the 2 years and the 4 years in case they add up to be an 11 or they add up to be the 22.
Okay.
And then you can tap into the higher numbers or the higher energies. But other than that, 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9. Really easy.
And when you get those 11s and 22s, I was just thinking maybe it's they really are a 2 and a 4. They're just a higher power.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
They're a master. Okay, got it.
All right. So from the personal year, once you have that, so we have your year for this year, 2019, will be a 1. Now you add that to the calendar month. So right now we're in January, which is the month 1. So that means this is a 2 month for you. Because we add the 1 for the year, the 1 for the calendar month, and you get a 2. So this month is about building those relationships and cooperating and collaborating with others. So that just is the flow of this month. Next month will be more about expression, creating, communication, all that kind of stuff. Now's the 2. So now you can go through the year and look at the sequence of month to month. So if you have month-long projects, you know when you can set those up and work on those because you're going to have that energy supporting that.
So also if I'm in a 1, so then February will be my 2, right? Well, so mine is easy. So 9, September, October, I'll be in a 1-1, won't I?
September, you'll be a 1, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the September is always going to be
October, I'll be the 1-1, right? No? If I'm in a 1? No, you're right, September.
October, you'll be 11.
Oh, magic.
Yeah.
No wonder Halloween's my...
Oh, that's going to be a powerful month.
I know.
This is going to be one of the deepest Halloweens for you.
I know.
Yeah, you better take a lot of notes and channel all that energy. You're going to be really tapping into those masters.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay.
So 2 month, next month a 3, and so on and so forth. And then we add it to the calendar day.
And for everybody that's listening, I know this is the end of February, but I tape ahead. So today is January 13th?
Today is January 18th.
A horror movie comes out today for free on YouTube. That's how I know. That's the only reason I know the date. It's about Kentucky as well. It's the only reason I know the date. Okay.
I'll have to look into that. Okay. So we'll do today.
Okay.
Today being January 18th when we're recording. So it's a 2 month in January, and then we add it to the 18th, and that would be a 20. So then it's a 2 day.
Okay, so I'm going to go back over that because so we know that I'm in you're saying I'm in a year 1. So we got the 1.
Yes.
And then we know that January is 1, so I got 2.
Yes.
So 1 and 1 is 2. I should have that right. And then we add in the 18, which is a
2 plus 18 will give you the 20.
20, okay.
And 2 plus 0 will give you 1.
2,
so
okay.
Boom.
So
today is a 2 day. So of course we're collaborating today.
Am I right?
It's perfect. You're so in alignment with yourself, with your energy. Okay, so now once you calculate this day, again, for the rest of the calendar month, you don't have to do any math. You just have to count. Tomorrow's the 3, the following day is the 4, and so on. On those 2 days and 4 days, you might want to do the extra math just to see if it is a master number day and it's an 11 or a 22. But you don't have to do that. You can just go with the 1 through 9 and you'll be fine. So now, the fun stuff.
Who do tarot readers go for tarot readings? They go to Melissa Sonova at melissasonova.com. She gave me the best reading a couple of months ago that is still resonating and helping me out now. She is authentic and to the point. You loved her on the podcast. She is the no BS tarot reader. She also has a tarot class online right now. Check it out. Just watching the promo, you will see how much fun you are going to have while you learn. Also, check out out her book, which is always right beside me when I'm doing my readings, or my tarot card for me in the morning. It is called Kitchen Table Tarot, and you will love it. Melissa Cynova, that's MELISSACYNOVA. Check her out.
Now that we know that it's a 2-day, there are colors that can be associated with each of the numbers.
And 2-day means you should wear a bra today, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. You got to hold up both of them. So, I mean, it is in that number. It's a pair, hopefully. So I keep the numbers in the way that I learned them in school, which I think they changed it because they don't worry about the indigo anymore. But I go with the Roy G. Biv order. Okay. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo,
which is your
violet.
Chakras too. That's the way.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the way that I go with it too. So if it were a 1 day, so yesterday would have been a great day to wear red.
Red. Okay.
Today, great day for orange.
Okay.
Tomorrow, the 3-day would be a great day for yellow. The 4-day, green, heart chakra. The 5-day would be the blue. I would go with a light blue or a turquoise. Usually works for me on those days. The 6th day, the indigo, the really deep blues, and then the 7th day would be the purple.
Purple. Okay, and
Now we have 2 other numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, because we're like,
And
well, okay, we ran out of the rainbow. What do we do after
everybody
that?
knows we're talking about the chakras. You may have said that. But that's sometimes I don't even know if we've covered that. So okay, so yeah, we got 2 days left.
Yes. So now with the 8-day, I usually go with browns
Plaid?
or beiges. I just go plaid.
Plaid.
I go with just wear dollar bills on my body. But yeah, I stick with the beiges and the browns or pinks. Those are the energies that kind of goes along with the 8s. And the 9s, just gold, the high vibration there, or pastel colors.
No blacks, huh?
Well, good picking up on that there. The blacks would be good to pair with black and white on an 11-day.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want to just wear black. The one thing about this numerology and pairing up with the colors, it's really gotten me to put a lot more color into my outfits.
You know what? I was thinking that on stage. I'm trying to care what I look like on stage, which is very hard for me. But I'm trying to get rid of the dark and wear something brighter or more cheerful.
Experiment with the numerology colors now. I tell you what, since I started infusing more colors, I get compliments on what I wear. I'm not wearing anything like fabulous or flashy or anything, but I'm just wearing the energy of that day, and it calls people's attention to it.
And when you say that, you don't mean like you're not going out in a polyester green suit. You're
no, that's only on like every other weekend and the 11 days.
But you'd be like a red shirt, maybe
just
jeans
a
or
red
black pants, just something
simple, just to add it in. Or if a shirt just has the accent of that color, just so that I can be. Now you don't have to. You've probably been living your life the way that you've been picking out your outfits. This is just a way for me to take one less decision away and free up my mental power to do something else.
That's a great idea. Which, by the way, everybody should have this book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Have you heard of it?
Oh, no, but I know she has a new show on Netflix there, and I'm so excited to watch it because I haven't been able to read the books.
I just started it, and the first thing she has you do is throw all your clothes in a pile, and then you say what resonates.
What sparks joy.
What sparks joy, yes. My underwear does not spark joy in anyone.
There are other sparks that come out of that.
Yes. And I thought, and I think, I'm sure she has rules like if you don't put something you hope you're going to fit into or something like that. But I'm going to try that this weekend. But I want to save colors. Like I'm with you. I like colors.
And if I find a shirt or something that I like, I'll buy it in multiple colors.
I do that too. I'm glad you said that. I like the turtleneck, a sleeveless turtleneck. That's all I like. And if I could get them on,
just get the same. I like this shirt, but I want to be able to wear it on different days. Yeah. So I just buy multiple colors of it. And the funny thing was, in terms of we were talking about Marie Kondo. I found myself the other day just cleaning out my closet. I was like, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I just got into it and went through the whole day, and I felt so good. And then I usually do my numerology each day, but I kind of forgot about it that day. And doing the calculations later, it was a 9 day.
Oh, was it?
It was so in alignment.
See, I
funny.
have a rule. I throw out one thing a day.
Really?
So I have to go in a closet, pull out something I'm not using or something like that. But it's kind of, the way she's doing it is really what I have to do because I get rid of a lot of excess and a lot of stuff I don't need. Mm-hmm. But I seem to have some sort of, I'm always ready. I always feel like I'm going to have to move soon. It's like I carry my things in a backpack, like I'm going to have to run or get in a fight or something. I'm always like kind of half in flight. And so for me, it's good to kind of, stay light anyways. But I think the way she does it, because also like I was going to give all my clothes to somebody, they're in the back of my car, and I'm looking at them, and I know if they're not out of there soon, I'm going to go, why am I throwing away that? And then they move back into the house. So you got to get rid of them fast.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 3-second rule. If you're going to do something, if you're going to like jump off a diving board or do cliff diving, if you don't do it within those 3 seconds, you're not going to do it.
Is that really?
Your mind is just going to talk you out of it. So, that's something I learned when I was doing the whole pickup thing and trying to get dates and stuff back in the day. It was the 3-second rule. If you see someone, within 3 seconds, you better make an approach and start a conversation, or else you're going to talk yourself out of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I find that in so many areas of life, just that 3-second rule.
I thought the 3-second rule is when you drop something on the floor.
That's 5 seconds. You got 2 extra sections.
Okay.
So because there's a delay, like, what am I going to do?
You learn the difference between the 3 and the 5 seconds.
5-second rule, food. 3-second rule, action.
Someday there's going to be a Paranormal Karen trivia game, and that will be the question. What is the difference between the 3-second and the 5-second rule? Okay, all right, got it.
Okay.
Okay, where to now? Is there anything else?
So now with the colors, you can also do crystals.
Oh.
And pair up the crystals that match the color that will match the energy of the numerology of that day.
Oh.
So if you don't have clothing of, let's say, a purple shirt or outfit or anything, but you have an amethyst, just carry the amethyst around that day.
Nice.
So on a 1 day, you can do a red jasper, a 2-day carnelian, 3-day, like a citrine, like yellow calcite or something.
Interesting.
A 4-day, like a green aventurine or jade, something green there.
Since we're talking color, I'm doing it'll be a couple of months, but I'm doing I interviewed this fabulous English lady named Natalie Gray. She had a fabulous NDE. So after the interview, she shows me this thing, and it's called Aura Soma. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I have not.
It's liquid crystals and herbs, and they make it in this place where, like, I'll send you her podcast if I can. And they make it in the land is like the how everything is treated. The land, no preservatives, no anything. I don't know if they make it in England somewhere way out. This guy dedicated his whole farm to it.
Wow!
And they're liquids that separate, and you get a color on top and you get a color on the bottom.
Way.
Yes, and and you're supposed to just pick the color that appeals to you, and then they tell you what it's for and how you use it and stuff. But it's fascinating, and the bottles are not that much. There's a lady in LA, so everyone, this is coming, and I'm going to interview this lady, and the bottles are like $50 for her, but I got one, and of course mine was Archangel Michael because I have a tattoo about him and everything. He's my guy. I think we dated at one point.
I'm sure. I'm not surprised because you probably bossed him into it.
Yes, exactly. I'm the only person that scares Archangel Michael. So you shake it, and then it literally turns glittery, and you put it on you, and as the days go by, the bottle changes. As you're healing, it's very. All right, I'm not gonna. That's my teaser.
Whoa.
But for color therapy, I'm going to show you something when we're done here.
Okay, that sounds cool.
So you said crystals.
So crystals. So go through where were we? 5 turquoise or aquamarine would be good for that one.
And 11 is pink or gray. And
11 would be, I think, maybe if it's pyrite or maybe silver, because you can use precious metals as well.
Oh, okay.
Silver with that one. The 9-day would be the gold, and the 8-day would be.
Oh, that's right.
I'm
9.
trying to think of the 8.
So the 8 would be purple.
And then money.
Right.
7 would be purple.
Oh, 7 would be purple.
Yeah, 7 would be purple.
I jumped all over. I'm sorry, folks. So 7 would be purple. 8 would be gold.
9's gold. I jumped around. 8, I'll have to look up. Maybe some diamond. Yeah, if you have diamonds, that would be good.
You wear clear clothes?
Well, it's that drive,
Saran
that saran wrap yourself in diamonds. Then you can't move around. You're just kind of wrapped in saran wrap.
I knew a model that did that because apparently it makes you thinner. It was a guy. And
because it makes you sweat.
Right, so he looked thinner in the picture.
Yeah, I had a student one time came in bubble wrap for Halloween, and they lasted 1 period because their body couldn't breathe.
Oh my God.
They're ready to pass out.
That was the old turn on your husband thing in the 50s, wasn't it? A woman wrote that book, Wrap Yourself in Saran Wrap and His Version. We're way off topic. All right. So not Saran Wrap. So 9 is not Saran Wrap. So
no, 9's gold, 8 diamond, 7 amethyst, purple.
Okay, purple.
Yeah.
All right. So when we
6 would be like what's
1, 2, 3, 4,
it's the indigo color. A lapis. Lapis is a good one.
You could be making
soda
these
light.
up and I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But thank you.
But if you want any reference, I think Louise Hay has a really good, short, easy to read book, Colors and Numbers. That helps with the personal year. She also has some affirmations in there because you're trying to live in the energy of that day, right? So if it's a one day, I get things started. You know, I support myself. Something about I am a born leader or something.
Oh, what a great!
So in the 2, relationships are important to me, or I am great in relationships, or I am a cooperative person. And you can use those affirmations just to keep you in alignment of the energy that day. And the one thing I know with how I can use this along with astrology too. They always say, no, don't sign contracts or any long-term things during Mercury retrograde. But I would say the antidote for that, if you cannot wait until Mercury retrograde is over, if you have to do things like that, schedule it on an 8-day.
Right.
Because that's going to be that success, that business success. day.
I do the tarot card of the day, and I love a book called Numerology and the Divine Triangle. And she goes through the tarot cards, and every card, or it's 2 ladies. Yeah. And one lady's name is Dusty Bunker. Isn't that awesome?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And I sent her an email. Once. I was like, hey, do you have any other tarot books? She answers it right away. She goes, me and my husband were just watching your videos. You're so funny. And I was like, oh, we made a friend. Because I forget on the bottom of my email it says, go to my website.
Yeah.
So she was lovely. But her book was great for people that want to mix numerology and tarot. It's amazing.
Nice.
In fact, I don't know anybody else that does it that well. But I like that of the day, but I should do... I'll do that someday on the tarot card of the day, and it'll be like, 1, I'm very bossy today.
Yes. So watch out. Just step back. Give me some space because I need my space. It's about me today.
I'm knocking things over today. That's great. I love this day thing.
That's great.
But you know what that else would explain is because I'm always trying to be creative and write, there are some days that are nonstop. That I could just write jokes. I just punch out that script I need or blah, blah, blah. And then there's other days where I can't buy a joke.
Yeah, I would say probably the flow days would be the 3 days, so just in that creative energy.
Right, so today's the 2 days.
Today's the 2 days, so it's collaboration.
Collaboration, okay.
Now, tomorrow, 3-day, any creative projects, just go capture them, just be in that energy.
That's great. Oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry, people. Okay, anything else? Or I think that gave us a lot of wonderful things to think about. I think that's a lot. I say everyone go out, practice it, find out your numbers, and just try it for a week, or a 9-day cycle. Just go through it and see how it is living in the energy of that day, and just watch it flow. You get the support of that universal energy underneath. Yeah, and now you can go back and listen to the beginning again and the 9 numbers, or maybe you're a tarot person and you can look at your cards. Today I'm going to be full of numbers because I lost my debit card and I have to go to the bank and get a new one. So, and I was like, can I have the same pin? Can I have the same pin, please? And they were like, of course you can. What are you, 5? We do that now. And I was like, what does it cost? It's free. It comes with your... Oh, thank God. So my numbers are good today. So Brian, tell everyone where they can find you.
So again, my website, lareikiguy.com, lareikiguy.com. Reach out to me if you have any questions about this numerology stuff, any Reiki questions. I do Reiki distance sessions and hypnosis. Just reach out to me there. You can find me. My contact information is there.
And it'll be in the show notes.
It's in the show notes. So just let's keep living consciously.
See, and you are a 6 because every once in a while when I'm home, once a month you go set up Reiki sessions for cancer patients, don't you?
Yeah, I work at 2 different cancer support nonprofits here in Los Angeles, and I gather Reiki practitioners once a month down in Beverly Hills to help out at Tower Cancer Research Foundation. So if you're local in the LA area and a Reiki practitioner and want to help out with the cancer community, feel free to reach out and contact me to get involved there. The other center that I work at is We Spark Cancer Support Community in Sherman Oaks, and they love their Reiki. They've introduced a lot of people to Reiki, and it is such wonderful work, especially in that community, whether they're caregivers, whether they're in treatment, post-treatment, and it really, really changed my world after I left the classroom and I found that community, and it really opened up my practice in terms of just tapping into that Reiki energy. It's really changed me and showed me the service aspect of being a Reiki practitioner.
Wow. And you know, everybody needs it now. We're in strange times. We're in strange transitional times.
Everyone just needs to balance and calm down. And me being a math guy, like, I'm very analytical and want to explain things, so I'm always trying to figure out what actually Reiki is. That's a whole other conversation there, but I can't deny its benefits. And we're just all stressed out. We all push ourselves. We're all anxious in different areas of our lives, and there's something about Reiki that can just drop you in and clear it all out and give you that perspective. And we can go into scientific explanations of what it does. But that would be great. But yeah, it's amazing.
You sound a little bit like a 9, though.
Well, who knows? Well, my dad was a 9, so I have that influence coming in there.
That's going to be the new thing now. Well, she's acting like a 6, but she's kind of a 9. I don't know what that is.
Well, the 6s and the 9s and 2s. Some say 3, 6, 9s go together, but I think the 2 and the 6 and the 9 are
It definitely makes
partners.
me think about. I almost always have the same apartment number.
Oh, really?
Over and over.
Do you do the numerology ahead of time?
I did it. I never do, because usually when I'm moving, it's such a freak out. I'm like, just let the universe tell me where to land. Tell me where to land. But wonderful. Thank you, Brian. That was fantastic.
Thank you,
and
Karen.
everybody, please, if you can, give the podcast 5 stars. And you can go to my website, karenrontowski.com or paranormalkaren.com if you want to book a tarot reading. I always forget to promo my own stuff, and I can't remember my comedy dates. Send me your ghost stories, your conspiracies, anything weird that's going on, and I'll be reading them with Sister Sue, my sister that you all love. And thanks to Mike at Uno Rising Media. I think I'm all done. I think that's it.
I think let's close up the day, and let's just go into
Let's call it a 9.
day.
Thanks, everybody.